Imagine that it's a normal workday, and you get into your car to drive to work just as you normally do. You're driving down the road being an alert and conscientious driver. The traffic in front of you slows, so you gently apply your brakes to slow down to the speed of traffic. As you do, you hear a loud crash, and your vehicle is struck from behind. You, along with your vehicle, is violently jolted forward. It all happened so suddenly. Once you regain your sense of composure and realize that you're not injured, you pull your vehicle to the side of the road to survey the damage to your vehicle. You get out of your vehicle and realize that your car is ruined. This very situation happened to me last year. The person who hit me was distracted because they were texting and driving. I was lucky that I was not injured and it was only my vehicle that was damaged. Scenes like this happen multiple times a day. Unfortunately, not every incident ends with only the vehicle being damaged. Many traffic accidents that are caused by distracted driving result in death. The numbers illustrating the dangers of distracted driving are downright startling. In fact, distracted driving is a deadly behavior. Federal estimates by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration suggest that distraction contributes to 16% of all fatal crashes, leading to around 5,000 deaths every year. All drivers need to be aware of distracted driving and take steps to minimize the risk to themselves and others. I'm asking you today to decide for yourself whether that one phone call or that text message or any other distraction is worth the cost of a human life. Distracted driving is any activity that could divert a person's attention away from the primary task of driving. It's not just texting or making phone calls. A partial list of what counts as a distraction would include things such as eating and drinking, attending to or disciplining children, grooming, reading, using a navigation system, or adjusting the radio or temperature controls, and the list can go on and on. Traffic safety experts at the AAA Foundation for Highway Safety have classified distractions into three main categories: manual, visual, and cognitive. Manual distractions is anything that causes you to move your hands away from the task of controlling the vehicle, such as reaching for a soda or eating while driving. Visual distractions are those where your eyes are taken away from the focus of the road. As you are driving, you notice another vehicle pulled over to the side of the road. You divert your eyes from the road in front of you, as your attention is now on the action going on the side of the road. A cognitive distraction is where your mind wanders away from the task of driving. While you're looking at the car that's on the side of the road, you spilled that soda on the front of your shirt. Now you are upset that your outfit is ruined and that now you're going to be late for work. So you start to think of what excuse you can give your boss. Your mind is wandering and you're no longer paying attention to the essential job of driving. I'm sure that all of these scenarios and many others like them sound very familiar. We have all been guilty of distracted driving in one way or another. Have you ever arrived at your destination and do not remember very much about the trip there? Chances are you were driving distracted. Surveys find that adults recognize that other drivers are behaving irresponsibly, but they find excuses for their own risky driving behaviors. In a survey from the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety, over 90% of drivers recognized the danger from cell phone distraction and found it unacceptable that drivers text, send email, and answer the cell phones while driving. Nevertheless, These same 35% of people admitted to having read or sent a text or email message while they were driving in the last month. Similarly, 2/3 of those survey respondents admitted to talking on the cell phone, even though 88% of them said it was a risky behavior. Don't be one of those people who make excuses for their own risky behavior. I'm sure nobody plans on causing a distracted driving crash. Yet every time we pick up our cell phones and think, I'm a safe driver, nothing bad will happen to me, we take a deadly risk and we put other drivers at risk. How would you feel if you were responsible for an injury or even the death of a person just because you chose to drive distracted? You can prevent distracted driving by making a conscious effort every time you get into your vehicle to focus on the task of driving. Reduce distractions while you're driving by turning off your cell phone when you get into the car, or just leave it in your purse or pocket and turn the ringtone on silent. This will reduce the temptation to even look at your cell phone. If you do receive a text while driving, the answer can wait until you arrive safely at your destination. Don't eat and drink while you're driving. If you must eat on the go, plan ahead so that you have time to stop and eat in a parking lot. Choose your radio stations and set your GPS before you leave. If you have teenagers, teach them of the dangers that are involved with distracted driving. It's a good idea to limit the number of other teenage passengers that they have in the car with them. The more passengers, the more distractions. Time to remain safe from other distracted drivers, be sure that you are being an alert and conscientious driver. Keep a safe buffer between you and other vehicles. Keep your eyes on the road and focus on driving. Avoiding distracted driving is the responsibility of all drivers. Distracted driving is a deadly risk, and by making a conscious choice to focus on driving each time you get into your vehicle, you are making a choice of safety for yourself and for other drivers. The life you save might be your own.